I will play Dark Souls 2
Stop.
after, and
No.
I might stream it.
Sure, after. Just don't do it right now.
I won't do it right now. I have to restock myself with souls.
Delete that Dark Souls 2 shortcut if you have to.
I need more
For now.
souls.
Ah, man, I have to.
Souls, meh.
Hey everybody, this is TMG Podcast. This is episode 29, and this is April 26th, a Saturday night. This is Carlos, and with me is Will.
Hello.
And Miggy.
Hello.
Just the usual. How's everybody?
Fine.
I'm okay.
I'm stressed.
I know you're.
I will talk about it in a bit. We have a lot to talk about in episode 29.
You're supposed to be de-stressed.
I'm relieved. I'm relieved on why I'll explain later. But we'll talk. We're gonna be talking about a little bit Dark Souls 2. We'll be talking a little bit of something happened with Fatal Frame. We got some announcements with like the new Dragon Age Inquisition, something about Mad Max, and a lot more actually. But first, who wants to talk about like what are your impressions for this week? Who wants to start? Because I'm still recuperating from what happened to me a while ago. You did not see the last part.
I know. I shouldn't judge, but it's still just kind of funny that. I haven't been playing Dark Souls 2. I've been I haven't really been playing anything like any single game like dedicatedly, but I picked up recently the Game of the Year edition of Borderlands 2, which includes pretty much
everything,
all the DLC. Well, most of the DLC. There's a season 2 apparently that came out after, and I don't have that yet. But I was able to play. I was playing through with the new character. Well, not really new anymore, but the DLC character Krieg, the Psycho, who's a very high-risk character, to put it.
Yeah, literally, that's actually the perfect example of that character, high risk. Like you're meant to just like go guns.
Literally, his ability is essentially you become like a melee monster. Like you get increased speed and increased damage in melee, and then whenever you get a kill, you
gain life.
You regenerate life. Yeah, so you're supposed to just like keep going until everything's dead. Until everything's dead, basically, and then you can stop. So far,
I had that character. I love that skill. That's an amazing skill. It's actually one of the best ones, to be honest.
You punch those numbers come
because
out.
the first time I played through, I was just using the normal gun dude, Axon. I think Axon. What's his name? I forgot.
Oh, the commando.
Yeah, the guy who has a turret.
The commando. Yeah, Axel. Yeah, I think it's the right name.
Yeah, and I mean because in Borderlands 1 I also played the regular gun dude Roland, so it seemed to be the most basic class there is, and so I used that. But now this is really different, and it's been pretty fun revisiting the game. And then of course I'm checking out all the new DLC also, and I have to give it up to Gearbox. Like their DLC for Borderlands is all really well done, I think, in my opinion. Like,
it's actually really well done, but I have to be honest though. Like as much as I want a lot of Borderlands, like I've got the Game of the Year edition from like the first one and the Game of the Year edition for the second one, and I've played the hell out of it, but I never get to finish all the DLCs. Like, like it's not a bad thing. It's more like there's so much Borderlands.
You get burned out
there. I get burnt out, yeah. Like I'm enjoying the hell out of it, and then something new comes along, and I just completely forget about it. To the point where I finished maybe 2-3 DLCs, the main story, and then I have just one last DLC. I just didn't bother. And then for me on Borderlands 2, that's I think the Stronghold, the latest one, the Stronghold, the Dragon Keep one.
The Son of Crawler Max or something like that.
No, like you know that little child. That really like psycho child in Borderlands 2, and then she tries to she's technically role playing in this like strong. It's I forgot what it's called. But that's the DLC I'm lacking, and I get what my point is. Like, there's so much content that they throw out into the wild that it's crazy. And I think right now we still want more because now they're releasing a Borderlands 2.5, which is Borderlands
the pre-sequel.
The pre-sequel, yeah. And I'm not excited.
And remember, Telltale Games is coming out with episodic Tales from...
Yeah, Tales from the Borderlands.
Which I'm pretty excited because that's actually an awesome mix, if you think about it.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
From a RPG to a Telltale style.
RPG shooter into a Telltale
point
style.
and click.
Point and click and then do the same humor. I'm hoping it's the same humor as
Point
Borderlands.
and click with a morality system. Most likely.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely pretty sure it will be the same style of humor. Otherwise, I mean, what's the appeal otherwise, right? Yeah. Exactly.
You think it's a big problem though for Gearbox Software? Because
they're stuck doing Borderlands forever. No, I don't.
Pretty much.
I'm sure they're working on something else, like Duke Nukem.
Aliens again. Not Isolation. They're not working on Isolation. That's one game I'm pretty excited for. But yeah, Borderlands 2. Are you playing alone though, or is it?
Yeah, I'm playing alone. I know I'm not getting the best experience out of it playing alone, but I don't.
That I can't do.
Playing alone, playing Borderlands alone. You mean?
I can't play Borderlands 2 alone, or even one. It's the fetch.
It's very different. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there. It's a different beast altogether. But
I have Borderlands 2 from PS Plus on PS3. Maybe I can join you and shit.
Possibly, yeah. Oh, but I don't know. I have it on PC, so I'm not sure if you can.
Oh.
Forever alone, you two.
Border alone.
Forever alone.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go cut myself in the car.
But it's the one game though, I think, or the one franchise where I always double dip. Like I get the original one and I sell it.
Yeah,
and then
I'm with you there. Like I tend to do the same thing.
Yeah, like Borderlands. Borderlands franchise is an amazing franchise, and I just when I go for the Game of the Year's edition, I without even thinking about it, I just get it. And is it for sale or it just went straight up full price?
No.
Steam,
I bought a hard copy. I didn't get it on Steam.
Oh.
So
okay.
I have it on retail disc, which is fine for me. I mean, I'm totally cool with. I'm happy with the retail disc. So.
What about you, Migs? I think I don't know. You want to talk about?
Let's do this. Dark Souls 2, man.
Okay, fine. Dark Souls 2. You Migs, take it away. Cause I'm still collecting myself for this one.
Well, tell me, how do you feel it compares to Dark Souls 1? Like,
yeah, because technically, I'm pretty much very experienced with the Dark Souls franchise or Demon Souls for that matter. Miggy,
this is my first Souls game.
Yeah, this is your first game. So how is it for you for being like technically the virgin in the sequel?
I didn't expect to like it as much as I do. Especially, even when you die, it's not like I want to throw my controller at the TV. I just swear really loud and I just keep going. I can't stop. It's hard to put that game down.
It is, and it's the most punishing game out. Well, for me, it's the most punishing game out there.
It's not as hard as I thought, because you only tend to die when you get careless or do something foolish for the most part. And I went into it. I picked swordsman, so you dual wield at the start, right?
Yeah.
Which I figured out how to equip swords after killing 2 dudes first.
Wait, you do realize that the classes don't matter, right?
Yeah. It's just initial stats and equipment.
Okay. Because it's just based on the starting.
It doesn't the tutorial is set in stones you find in the first area, right? Which
by the way, I did not know.
Yeah, I saw tutorial. You ran past it first.
I ran past it. I just kept on smacking them. That's what I was doing. I was not reading them. And I'm like, that's the tutorial.
Let's just let it run.
Yeah, I knew how to play, and I'm like, this is the tutorial. I have to read those slabs. I've been slapping those slabs all day. It actually is supposed to teach me things. But so far, you've been playing it maybe a couple of hours. I think you're a couple of bosses down.
4 hours. I've streamed the whole thing. I haven't played that off stream yet. I recorded the first hour, which is going to be made into a short highlights video. I wish I kept going, because then the crazier shit started to happen. shortly after.
Oh, really?
Like I ran, okay, first death muna, before I jump into anything.
Okay.
My first death was, in the tutorial area where it tells you sprint and then hit the jump button.
Oh, I was hoping that wouldn't be my first death. Thankfully it wasn't my first death. Yeah.
That was
okay.
mine, because by default it's mapped to L3.
You missed.
You missed?
Yeah, like
I'm sure
I
you
touched
missed.
the corner, then I slid off because, video games.
Because video games, yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. I didn't do
The jump button by default is mapped to L3. So right after, you hold to sprint, then you click it to jump. So that's fucked up. Because you're also running.
That's the same with me, because I'm playing Dark Souls 2 on PC with an Xbox 360 controller, and it's the same thing. I hold B to sprint, and I press the L stick to jump.
Yeah, after that, I changed it to X, which is the other option. But the default is L3. So okay. My first death was very, tame.
It was very, don't worry, because my first death wasn't that jump, but my first death was me falling off.
A different jump.
It wasn't a different jump, I just rolled off. That's all that happened. I was going through a narrow, the tutorial area, it was very narrow.
There's a portion after the first turn where you're too high, but then there's a section you can drop into, but before you, there's an item somewhere that you can drop into.
Yeah, to make it simple, I just rolled too much, and I just fell off. That's really what happened.
You can't mash roll, because it'll input.
Yeah, no, but I was just like, I know how to play this game. Roll, and I just fell off. That's it. And then I get an achievement. This is Dark Souls. I get the first achievement you get if you get
the first death.
Your first death, which is hilarious.
But yet very fitting in a way that you get.
I know.
It never gets old. I've seen that pop up a lot for other people. It never gets old.
Never gets old at all. What do you feel about the combat though about this game?
The combat is fine.
It's very.
How people initially compare Demon's Souls to Monster Hunter. In terms
That's actually a good comparison, actually.
Yeah, because of the stamina and the dodge rolling and the blocking.
Yeah, very much.
I like how it's not Monster Hunter, because Monster Hunter is very arcadey in its precision.
Yeah.
There are boss videos where they swing into the air, and the moment their weapon comes near its ending animation, the monster's head swings into it. It's that precise. Well, Dark Souls is less of that. But I like how you have to be more careful and less of a fool with swinging your animation.
And I like the fact that it's not.
It's good. I like the game. It's good.
It's deep and precise, whereas you have to literally worry about every single thing going around.
You can't slouch at all.
You can't slouch. You can't just smash your button. You have to know where you are, where you're going to roll, how much stamina you have left, how many hits you have left before you have to back out, because these monsters or these enemies sometimes don't flinch. If you hit them, they're gonna keep swinging sometimes. So you have to worry about that.
Trade hits.
You can also trade hits, and it looks very simple, but if you start playing it, it's very complicated. It really feels complicated. And as much as the battle was just pretty much just 2-3 swings, if you're the one playing it, it just feels like, oh my god, that was a horrible fight. That was really hard. It was just
them, and they have a pixel health, but you don't see it. Then they hit you back. They're you're still fucking alive.
And then you lose 80% of your life just because of that one mistake.
Even the first guys can still do a ton of damage, even though you're level 30 plus now.
Oh, dude, I'm what? I'm 5 bosses down. I go back to the starting area just to get some items. I still freak out with those guys. They do amount.
They can do 50% damage.
Dude, they have combos. Holy shit. They can do 6-hit combos, and I freak out.
So my first, you know how you get out of the tutorial area and end up in Majula.
Yeah.
But once you meet the lady near the bonfire and you get your SS flask, usually the first area people go to is the forest, right? Because
not for me.
the enemies there are easier.
Oh, was it the first area? Because that wasn't my first area as well. I think.
Yeah, it's not mine, but I didn't even know it was there for my first.
I know where you went. You went to the big
I went to
giants.
the flame tower, with all these stone giants.
because that was weird. Because when I was watching your stream, and then you were playing, like, you were a guy with like dual wields, and then you were stabbing giants with daggers, like constantly stabbing
First
them.
3 hours. It came to a point where I killed them so many times that they stopped spawning.
Oh,
Before
yeah,
I knew about the forest area. Like, I thought I really had to push through there. Because there are 2 bosses there.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm literally lost, actually, because when I was streaming as well, people were saying, why are you there? You're not supposed to be there. I'm like, I don't know. There's no sign saying that this is where stage 3 is or whatever. Like, it's very open world where you can just go wherever you want. And I think it's more freedom compared to Dark Souls 1. You actually know where the next step is or the next part of the game is. Here, it just feels like you're in the center of everything.
Open world.
Yeah, and then you can just go wherever you want to go. As much as it's the hardest spot, it just feels like Mega Man, or in a sense that
you can pick your boss.
You can pick where. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you can buster everything.
Well, in a way,
that's
means,
how it felt.
No,
like.
but that means to say it's more like Demon Souls, right? Because I remember Demon Souls. You can also...
Yes, that's more like Demon Souls. It's not directly it doesn't directly look like that, but technically in Majula, you can go anywhere you want. You can go straight to the flame tower, like what Miggy did, and it's really hard. But you can, if you can do well enough,
you can fucking beat that.
Yeah,
you're like super weak. Because I got as far as I did.
Because is that really is the forest part really the starting, like the first place you're supposed to go?
I guess, because like after when I found out
about
go there. The forest, like the dudes there were like nothing.
Yeah, so it's very. I like the fact because like Dark Souls 2, it didn't feel Dark Souls 2. I mean, Dark Souls 1 didn't feel like that. I think Will is right. It's more of Demon Souls or more of Mega Man, where you're in the center of everything and then you just go. It's up to you.
Face the world.
You can face the world, which is like also the Zelda, the new Zelda.
The first Zelda game.
No, the new one.
Everything is open. Because
Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, that one where you can go to all the dungeons at any time you want.
Yeah, because the dungeons are still the same, where it's like equipped like gear.
You can rent items and shit.
Yeah, you can just get whatever you need. So I like that about Dark Souls, where it's just freedom. The difficulty, it's not that. It's cheap. It's the level design and the combat's very cheap, but I can't blame the game. Like, what about you, Migs? I can't blame the game for like those cheap devs. It's more
it's not as bullshit as I would think. Like I initially thought it was, or it's not.
I think it's a little bit easier. Okay. Yeah.
But like, what I don't like long is like the tracking of some of the enemy attacks, because sometimes they look a little vague.
Yeah.
Like I swear the sword clipped through my body, but I didn't get hit. But then sometimes when I think it's out of range, I get nipped.
Yeah. It's actually it's very hard to actually really pinpoint what this specific monster can.
Yeah, the tracking of some of their attacks are weird.
And they always have the secrets. They always have the secret move that you've never seen.
Yeah, like they start changing up their attack strings and add this one extra hit.
It's messed up.
That's why every time I go to a new area, shield up. Always.
Good idea.
Don't do what I'm doing. No shield.
Well, you can go are you going two-handed?
Two-handed. I'm a two-hander all the way.
I went with
There's
shield.
nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's.
No, it's not. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just I can't block. That's all.
You can block if you one-hand the weapon. You can block. But like, what I found before, I'm not sure if it's the same now. When I block with just a sword instead of having a shield, I still take damage.
How the blocking works here in Demon's Souls, there's a stat called, I think, damage reduction. All shields can reduce it. All shields technically damage you. Like when you block with a shield, you get damage still.
It reduces it basically.
Very small. Like the shields. Like when you block, you're only getting like 5% of the damage.
Like pixel damage or something.
Yeah,
okay.
pixel damage.
But
if you block with a sword, that's like you're like only reducing like half of the damage. You're still getting like a big chunk because it's only half.
Not even half, but like you can see your life decrease.
Oh yeah,
and I don't like that. That's why I shield up. I'd dual wield if I could, but I rely on the guard too much right now.
Yeah,
I'm learning though. I'm learning.
That's another thing. That's what's cool about rogues, and then I think it's like the best example. Like you technically feel like you're learning, like as you progress. Because for me, I haven't played Dark Souls in a while, and I'm slowly getting
it's still a new experience.
Yeah, it feels like a new experience, and but I'm getting used to the moves, the monsters, because if the level design feels a bit different compared to the first, and also Demon Souls. I like that they shaped it up, they changed it a bit. It feels a bit easier compared to 1, because I remember 1 I had multiple bosses where it took me like hours to take down. I'm not quoting it. It's based on what I am experiencing right now. Because the first 3 bosses was a breeze. But now I finally felt this one boss that literally took me maybe 2 hours, I think. Was it 2 hours? 3 hours? And oh my God, that was like what, 40 deaths.
But
It was 40 deaths. I used everything. It was very punishing. I had to go through the place over and over again. But once I killed that guy, it felt so good. That's the reason why this cast was late, because I was playing that last boss.
well,
For
like when I told Will, is he streaming? I was fucking joking. Then I turned on the channel. He is
streaming. Yeah.
I was
and
streaming,
it is Dark Souls too.
and it was Dark Souls too. And because we were supposed to do the cast, which is this episode. I think we're like 30 minutes late. My bad. I was 40 deaths in. I was getting used to that boss. I didn't want to let go. I didn't want to give up, is what I'm saying.
Let it go. Oh, yeah.
I couldn't let it go. And I finally killed him with no more items and maybe at least 1 life. And then the 2, because this boss, you're literally fighting 3 bosses. So it's technically a 3-in-1 match. And it was painful because you have to worry about 3 movesets. And they're all swinging at you like it's crazy. So I was like, and me being the dumbass, I'm doing a 2-handed sword, so all I have is my stamina. All I have is my dodging ability. So it was painful, but I finally got it with only 1 life. I think that's the best. That's why Dark Souls 2 is very successful, because as much as it's very difficult, you could keep on dying. You think you can't blame the game. It's more like, it's because I did this.
Yeah,
it's because I
you
did that.
feel like the game has a good feedback.
Salty.
The game has a good feedback mechanism, and you don't feel like it's because the game is cheating. Because you fucked up, right? You feel like
it feels like fucked up. It's like I pressed that dodge too soon, or
something, whatever. It could be anything.
Or too
right?
late.
Yeah, and then once you actually got better at it, you finally learn these bosses, and then you beat them. The reward factor of this game is just huge. Like when I beat that boss finally, like literally 30 minutes ago, like I had to like calm my hand because I was shaking because I can't believe I finally finished that boss. I was so happy. Oh my God. Like when I was streaming, I had like a death counter, and I was like, what, at
74.
76 deaths, and half of those deaths were all from that boss. I shit you not. That boss was painful. It was very painful. What you will? Have you played Dark Souls? I know you.
I played Demon Souls. I played Dark Souls. I haven't started playing.
I got my copy from you.
Yeah, he did. I haven't.
Oh really?
Yeah, because okay, here's the story. But this is the Data Blitz story again.
It's fine.
I initially went to Data Blitz to ask to get a copy if they were going to get an R1 copy. Like for those who don't know, I tend to get R1 copies because I'm very OC about it.
Okay.
I like having uniformity on the side, and then I also happen to have a US PlayStation, so for me I like getting R1 just because I don't have to deal with the hassle of any possible region locking or.
It makes sense because yeah, of course.
So anyways. And they said, they weren't sure. They were only going to get R3. So like, okay, whatever. So normally when that happens, I go to play. I'll order it online. Like I ordered a copy over Play Asia, and the order was processed. And while the order was processing, the Data Blitz calls me up and says, "Oh, we actually have an R1 copy of the Black Armor Edition. Would you like it?" So I'm like, oh, fuck. So. I went and bought the Black Armor Edition, and then I had an extra copy that came in from Hong Kong, and that's the copy I sold to Migs, because what am I going to do with 2 copies, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Well, now he's suffering.
But in a good way.
Oh, hell no, dude, it's super fun. It's game.
That's why this game is amazing, because they made pain and suffering fun affair.
You know, when you get hit by that bullshit of like tracking attacks, like the big stone giants with the great swords. Like, I know this slash isn't gonna hit me. Then he turns at the last second and does and kills me.
It still hits you, right?
I say like, that's bullshit. But then after that, like, oh, I could have guarded, I could have dodged, I could have done something else.
There's always an option. There's always something you could do.
Yeah, it's always it's all my fault. God.
And I like how each enemy as well is also a bit different, because I know the stone giants you're talking about, because there's a stone giant with a sword, there's a stone giant with a club.
And then there's one with a great sword.
Yeah, they swing the same way, but the mace has a bigger hit box. I don't know why. I dodged the same way.
Damage.
Yeah, I dodged the same way, but I always get hit by the mace. But the sword, it's so easy to dodge. So I like the fact that like each weapon or each type of enemy has something completely different.
And
a little bit of
like,
uniqueness to it.
The part where like I can take this one guy, he's fine. But then you have two of them at the same time, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's a completely different experience already with two people.
You know, in the Flame Tower, when you go to that circle arena, the first one.
Yeah.
After the broken bridge, but you killed the dude with the great sword, and like, yeah, I feel cool. Then you see the two swordsmen coming in. Then I
he has friends. He has friends.
Like, where the hell did they come from?
Yeah, the big circle. I remember that, and then I just love Dark Souls too. I think they also, after all of that, like all those like very deep customization, the awesome combat, the punishing but rewarding difficulty, they also have this online feature which I haven't even bothered touching yet. I
haven't tried it yet either.
Yeah, the whole ability of well, for one, every other player can help each other by putting marks in the ground.
Again, that sounds a lot like Demon Souls to me.
Yeah, they translated all of that, like literally from Demon Souls to Dark Souls to Dark Souls 2.
Sun.
Yeah, and it's very rewarding. It's very helpful. Like, it's cool. Like, it's a big community. Everybody's trying to go through this game together.
Some of them are assholes, though.
Some of them are assholes because they say.
But I mean, I think that's an inevitable part of any game. You're gonna run into assholes.
It's surprisingly less though, like the amount of assholes compared to the helpful people. But there's still some.
I left.
At least on PS3.
My last message was like, jump here because there's treasure, but it's just a hole.
Just a hole.
There's a message there that says GG or something.
So what, you were trolling basically?
I was trolling pretty much. Yeah, and I got like
if people rate your messages, you get like you heal.
Yeah, I know. It's very rewarding to do all these features. It's very unique features. It's all rewarding to do. Like if you put a message to warn people or to let people know there's a secret, there's an item. If people rate that message, your character gets healed from that rating system, and it's amazing. Like
it could save your life.
Yeah, like because you gave a good tip.
Someone survived, right?
They're helping your game as well, and it's a really cool system. We didn't even touch the whole invading system as well. Where
you know what?
Invade.
You know how you can, you know, in bonfires how you can burn items.
Yeah.
You know, like the human effigy item, which restores your humanity.
Yeah.
I had no idea how to use that first, so what I did, I burned one.
What happens when you burn it?
It stops invaders from going into your game.
Oh, yeah, I did one. I had also burned as well, yeah. Just to learn.
I wasted a human effigy.
It's fine. That's just the way, because the game doesn't tell you anything, literally. It tells you the basic or the bare bone.
I have this bad habit of pressing square when I go to the bonfire, because I played another game where square is your menu. So when I go to a bonfire, then I press like, I'm gonna save or I'm gonna heal. I start bringing out items and just start using them.
I think when I first started playing the game, I didn't understand the controls. I was like eating those life gems like it was nothing. I remember I was doing that.
I'm gonna play Will, I might give your Ninja Gaiden copy back late. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I know.
Because of Dark Souls 2.
Yeah,
it's an amazing game. It's a very amazing game. For those who don't, I think it's the best entry for those who haven't played the franchise.
Since you played all three of them, you feel this is the best one to jump into the series?
I want to jump into Dark Souls 1 after this. Like,
I think you should, and
I'm gonna buy it after I'm done.
Based on I think I'm now 7 hours in.
Souls.
I think Dark Souls 1 is harder. It's not a
I
bad
actually
thing.
feel Demon Souls was the hardest one out of the.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so. Demon Souls is the hardest because it didn't try to cater to the casual side. They just wanted a really hard game. They
Yeah,
didn't give a
exactly.
shit. They wanted to kill you. So I think Demon Souls is the hardest. But for those who want to like ease in, like not everybody wants a horrible challenge, like a really painful challenge. If you really want to dive into this franchise, I think Dark Souls 2 is the best one because the story doesn't really intertwine. The story doesn't really matter, to be honest. I forgot what the story was in Demon Souls and Dark Souls. It's more like something happened. The king
did something again.
yeah, I don't know. King did something. People are dying, undead. Blah blah. Anyway, Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2. You can definitely start with this or any of them, but I suggest Dark Souls 2. And then
it's the new one, and there's a lot of people online.
No, and then it's actually more friendly. It's not as hard. I don't think it's as hard compared to 1. 1, after you do with 2,
it's a better entry.
After you're done with 2, jump in on 1. You'll actually you'll appreciate 1 more. And then Demon Souls, I think you'll appreciate it even better, even much more. Because that is like that's pretty much the precursor.
Do.
Yep, that's the
I'm
perfect.
Go back in time to 1985.
That's actually the perfect way to play it. Dark Souls 2, 1, and then Demon Souls. I hope I see more out of this franchise. I hope I see it in the PS4, the Xbox One. Because this is only
From Software has not made any mention of a next gen version, but I'm
surprised they actually didn't bother to go next gen with this one.
Which is weird because they could easily just port the PC version over, and I think that would have been fine. You know?
Yeah, but who knows? Because we got Last of Us HD PS4 version.
Yeah, so it might happen still. It's
4K edition.
4K, yeah, the 4K collection.
Just max out the textures. Yeah.
I know.
I need to look for a way, like in the options, to see if I can disable motion blurring. Because like your version is smoother than mine, and like it comes to a point sometimes where I go out of a room and it like stutters a bit.
Yeah.
And like out of the room is pits, and I have a little panic attack.
Is it confirmed that PC has 60 frames while the console has 30?
I can see it, and Switch is not 60 frames. I can see the difference.
I actually haven't heard any different, read anything yet to that regard, but
I don't know. It seems better. I don't know.
I can see it, dude. That's the thing.
You can see it.
Yeah, I can see the difference.
Oh wait, well, there's just been I just checked Eurogamer and they have a face-off already.
Better textures. Yeah, they have. I saw that. Better textures.
And it's smooth. So far the whole game is completely smooth. I haven't had a single problem with the PC version, but I'm hearing there's a lot of problems with the PC versions. Actually, it's not the smoothest translation.
That depends on the rig, siguro.
I don't think From Software is used to PC ports, to be honest.
It is 60
Well, they had Dark Souls 1 for Windows Live before, so obviously they don't.
Yeah.
Demon Souls is for games for Windows Live, really?
No, Dark Souls.
Demon
Souls is PS3 only.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it says here, thank you, Eurogamer, PC version is a 60 FPS. Stable 60 FPS, and all consoles are generally sub 30 FPS.
I can test that. It's below 30.
Yeah, for those who want to pick it up, Dark Souls 2, PC has the better in terms of specs.
It's probably cheaper as well.
It is cheaper. I got it only for 1,695 in iTech, and that's very cheap.
I think the PS3 version is 2.2 for R3 and 2.5 for R1.
Yeah, and if you get it in Steam, it's like, I don't know, $50. That's still 2,200 pesos. The retail, yeah, for us, it's way cheaper to get it in retail. Yeah, you get the PC version. The PS3 and the Xbox 360 is still good. I still think it's okay to play. If you don't have a PC, I think the PS3 and the Xbox 360.
Sadly, there's no Wii U version.
I don't
Sorry, guys.
Do we have to go there?
You always have to go there. On that note, I'm going to move on because that's depressing.
Yeah, let's go to some news.
That's just very depressing.
You want to
go on the news? Oh, yeah, what do you want to start with?
There's been a lot of announcements, actually, I think, but to cheer up the Wii U crowd, Tecmo has...
Can we do that?
Yeah, because they have announced the new Fatal Frame game for the...
Yay! For Japan.
For the Wii U, which is great, because I personally feel that that gamepad is made for this game.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh yeah,
You
put
point
the
it up and
game.
shoot at the zombie.
Yeah, for those who don't know what
System.
Fatal Frame is a survival horror series, where you basically have to use a camera to fight ghosts.
To damage ghosts.
Yeah, so
While using little schoolgirls.
yeah,
The best
basically. It's actually known because it's really really scary. It's one of the probably if not one of the scariest survival horror games.
Yeah, it has very effective like
Scares.
like it's not like those quick scares like when you turn left, all of a sudden that damn ghost is just there out of nowhere.
One of the
I
few
don't know
reasons where models clipping through walls is not a bug.
Yeah, and I think it's also because it gets a lot of inspiration from Asian horror. So
Oh yeah, like the creepy ghosts.
yeah, the creepy
Which I think is the
girls
best.
and shit, and that,
the
you know,
scariest thing.
those are and I find in general Asian horror to be very creepy, very scary. So this was announced a few days ago for the Wii U. No release date set yet.
But there's they just announced it was in development. They didn't have nothing to show.
They had nothing to show yet, but so I'm assuming that we're going to use the Wii U gamepad as a camera. But
Did better because there was like a 3DS horror game that sort of did that, where it had you walking around.
I know the game you're talking about, the Spirit camera.
Yeah, something like that.
Or you use a 3DS camera to move it around like a house and it'll put ghosts in there and shit.
Yeah.
I remember that. I'm really hoping that this gets localized eventually because we never got the last Fatal Frame game localized.
Yeah, Fatal Frame 4.
Oh, it was announced only for Japan. There's no Western talk yet.
Right now, yeah. And the last Fatal Frame, which was on the Wii, never got a Western release either.
And apparently Fatal Frame 2 got a Wii version as well, an updated one.
Yeah,
and we didn't get that either.
It was only released in Europe for some reason.
Yeah,
Japan gets the best stuff.
Yeah.
They always do.
And Fatal Frame 2 was by far, I think, the best one out of the three I played, which were originally PS2 titles. So yeah, I think 2 was the scariest one.
Will this make any dent for the Wii U? The fact that it's only for Japan.
You can do so much.
If they were to localize it to the West, maybe. But it's a big maybe because I think Fatal Frame is still a very niche title, even though it's considered
I heard Fatal Frame 4 did better than the PS2 Fatal Frames.
Oh, did it really?
Japan.
In Japan? Yeah. Okay.
In Japan.
But in the West, it's not as known. I think it's known well in gaming circles already, but
the core audience.
Yeah, but for like the casual or but I like to call them bro gamers. Like the ones who just buy Call of Duty and
pro gamers
and NBA every year. I don't think it has the name power that like say Resident Evil would have, right?
Yeah, because I don't think it has the same name power, and at the same time, we're at an age where the horror genre is not that the best state.
Right.
Because now it's just all FPS. Now it's all mobile.
This actually has a lot to prove in a way that for not just for the Wii U but also for the survival horror genre in general.
Yeah, for Nintendo, this one, I don't think this is going to help them anyway with their problems with the Wii U, but any title for the Wii U is always good at this point. Like, just send those games out because we all need it. Well, the Wii U owners need it. But it's cool. At least we have more horror because I want more horror. Like, there's not enough horror going around. There's too much FPS going around.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the problem. We need a little scare in our lives.
A related announcement to that, they've also announced that they're filming a Fatal Frame movie in Japan.
Why not? Japan likes doing weird stuff.
It's better than hearing Hollywood make a game movie.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And actually, when I think about it, if they get the right director, like the guys who might have done The Ring or something, they could really do something cool with this.
Hopefully they get a good budget as well.
Yeah, because like you can, Fatal Frame already takes a lot of inspiration from Asian horror. So in hindsight, bringing that to film will have it. You'll be able to see all the influences as in the same media that it was taken from. Does that make sense?
I hope they use. Do you remember the movie Shutter?
Exactly, I was thinking.
Oh yeah, the
Shutter,
Korean
exactly
one?
that.
If they put that as a reference or a precursor for Fatal Frame, this live action, it will be scary because Shudder was really scary. The Japanese version, not the US version. Fuck the US version. I'm talking about the Japanese version only. The Shudder Japanese version. That was really scary. And if they can translate that kind of scare to this Fatal Frame game, don't give me the whole combination when you do. Besides, I want the scare in Fatal Frame, and that'll help the game technically because you want that scare when you start playing the Wii U game. Is there any talk about the movie? Like I know they casted it already.
Actually, Shudder. Just a quick correction. Shudder was a Thai film. It wasn't the Japanese.
Oh, I thought it was Korean. Because I know it wasn't Japanese.
Wow, we're so off. No, okay, fine. Not the Japanese one.
Countries.
No, okay, it's not Japanese. But if they get reference to that movie still,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I love that movie.
And honestly, seriously, Thai cinema is pretty cool. Like if you ever watched Ong Bak.
Ong Bak, man. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Ong Bak's the shit. Like, especially Ong Bak 2, that one shot where they go around the whole, I think the whole tower, and it's just one shot of him fighting people.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
That's Ong Bak 2.
Is that Ong Bak 2? That's the Protector, I think, when he has to fight his elephant.
Yeah, like when he goes to, like, there's that one scene where he goes inside the building.
It's just a big rotating shot, yeah.
It's just one amazing rotating shot. That's just, okay, wait, yeah, that's just amazing. Yeah, I hope they get the right, going back to Fatal Frame, I hope they get the right, reference or source to.
The right everything.
I don't think they won't have a great story for sure. I'll say that right now.
You never know.
As much as, like, for example, The Ring, Shudder, like, they have decent to that. It's more about the scare. It's always about the scare. Like, all the horror films, all about the scare. If you put, like, I don't know, if you put in Blair Witch Project, if you just if you just read the story, it won't be that scary. But it's just the whole visual aesthetics of it. And then how to really, like, get you on off your guard. I hope they get that in Fatal Frame.
Without being completely jump scares.
Yeah. And I hope they don't I hope they don't use a child with long hair or a kid with white powder in his face. I don't know.
Yeah, because they're going to use both.
Why not? I guess. Why not? Moving on for a bit. Shifting gears. Metal Gear Ground Zeroes, as much as, it's been out for a couple of months. It has a new news for it. We have, well, for one, am I right? Exclusive DLC is now.
The former console exclusive DLC, Deja Vu and Jamais Vu, will now be available for everyone.
Which is weird.
Weird. I love it.
Yeah, which is good. So everyone gets to play everything without having to double dip.
So you get like what? One extra mission or 1 hour of your time?
Not even 1 hour. It's probably like 10, 15 minutes. But still, you get to play that was the argument before, like, oh, we get Raiden, you get 32-bit Snake, or whatever.
That's so amazing. I want to play 32-bit Snake because, I just want to.
Yeah, I was actually more excited about the Raiden DLC than the Deja Vu one. And I have the.
Well, is it also 15? Was that Raiden DLC also like 15 minutes long or something?
Yeah, it's really short compared to the main one. All the extra missions are short.
Well, then again, the whole game in itself is short.
But
which is cool.
Tackling it is longer than the initial tackle is longer than the other missions.
What is this DLC at? Like $5, and now we're technically.
It's not DLC.
It's part of the game.
You
have to unlock it now.
Yeah, it's basically exclusive content for each console.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. All right, I didn't read that wrong.
But yeah, apparently now they're making it available to everyone. It's kind of like, remember when they released Soul Calibur 4, I think, with the Star Wars characters?
Oh yeah, with Vader and
Yoda and all that, and then eventually.
No, was it Vader and Link or something?
Vader and Yoda.
No, Vader, Yoda, and the Apprentice. You're thinking of Soul Calibur 2, which had Spawn, Link, and Heihachi, yeah.
Oh, my bad. Okay. But okay, yeah, there. Okay, cool. That's for those who want more out of their Ground Zeroes copy, you'll get extra 15 minutes.
Which I think is good because the game's so bloody short as it is. It's a demo, really.
Yeah, anything would do to make it at least worthwhile. I'm actually considering buying it like like the digital version of my 360. It's
Well,
only 20.
I think this is what I mentioned to Migs because I bought the PS4 version, even though I don't actually own a PS4 yet, because I think once Phantom Pain is released, this will become rather rare. So.
Oh, you bought already a Ground Zero just for preparation?
Yeah,
huh?
I saw the picture and I wondered, you has PS4?
Yeah. I was like, no, I don't have a PS4, but this will become rather. I think when Phantom Pain comes out,
If it comes out.
I'm sure it will.
They'll bury it. They'll bury all the
Okay, I'm
copies
sorry.
of
I'm sorry.
Ground Zeroes.
I'm sorry.
It may become a bit of a rare title. It's
It'll
sort of
come
like
out because Ground Zeroes will fund Phantom Pain.
it's kind of like remember Tekken Hybrid? Like that was a short
Or
sort of
GT5 Prologue.
or GT5 Prologue exactly.
GT4 Prologue, I mean.
Was it 4 Prologue?
Five.
No, 4 did it first, diba?
Was it? With the 4
The proceeds of 4 went to the real game. Yeah.
Okay, no,
obviously.
okay, I get it. Okay, what were you saying, Will? I mean,
No, I mean to say like I just feel that it'll become harder to find once Phantom Pain is released because
yeah.
and I've read also that the definitive version is the PS4 version, so that's why I picked it up on the PS4.
But Will, you never know. They might just put Ground Zeroes in Phantom Pain.
Yeah, that's true. That would be a pain. That would be a bitch.
Oh my
but,
god, I can see it now. Pre-order and you get a copy of Ground Zeroes.
For free.
No, not for free. You get the digital version. You don't get a copy. You get a digital version of it. You get the code to download the damn game.
Oh, like EA.
Yeah, it'll happen. It will
That's
happen.
still, yeah. I think they're gonna do that.
But they're on the good side. As much as people are bitching about this being a really short game, it still sold millions
Yeah,
copies.
it's selling really well.
It's still sold. It's still the name. The name.
MGS5.
MGS. No, Metal Gear Solid. That's it. It's a new Metal Gear Solid. I'll get it. That's what happened. As much as it's shorter than it is.
But don't forget,
still hit
people
out
got
mark.
it because it had MGS5 on it, and they thought it's a full game.
I'm sure Kojima thought that would be a problem, but that's not a
Or he thought,
bad
he
problem.
can fool the white man.
Which they did. They fooled people here. They fooled people in the U.S.
Even the brown people.
Yeah, or the yellow people. Or I don't want to be all racist or anything. But yeah, 1 million for Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. I'll kind of get the $20 version. I kind of want to play it still, as much as it's very like
Good
I
game.
don't know, an hour. Yeah, still a good game. Length is only one part of it being a worth it.
Sure, but I'm sure at least you're gonna get an hour's worth of the first mission. Like the 6-minute stuff is for people who played it over and over again.
I think around 2 hours. I think I'll play it around. I'll give it
An hour 30 with the cutscenes.
with the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Moving on. Rise of How do I say this? Rise of Incarnates, the new game.
It's a weird grammatical title.
From Namco Bandai, I think.
Yep.
This is a PC free-to-play only title that was just announced. It looks cool. It's a 2v2. How do I explain this? It's a 2v2.
It's an arena game. It's an arena fighter game.
yeah, it's an arena fighter, kind of like
Similar Dissidia, the Gundam Versus series.
Yeah, the developers of
Anarchy
Rise of
Reigns, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
or
Rise of
I think the
Incarnates.
one or I think Power Stone, right? That it's also like that.
Yeah, sort of like that, but in third person.
Reign, or is it Anarchy Reigns?
Yeah, Anarchy Reigns or Max Anarchy in Japan.
Or Max Anarchy.
Similar.
And this again, like I said, it's a free-to-play game, and they just showed a trailer. It looks pretty cool. It's a free-to-play. I'm not too sure how it depends on.
Dude, it looks exactly the same as the Gundam Versus games. Right down to the camera angles of some attacks.
Is that good?
I like it. I told you last time I spent 3,000 right off the bat.
Oh, for the Gundam. But
I
we're
went
talking
to
about
a
this.
convention today just to play that against other people, even though I didn't make it.
But I just like the whole fact that Namco is going all. I don't know. I think it's the only maybe console developer that's actually going all free to play because they have like.
Is too. It's a weird thing.
Now they're hitting PC. I don't know what the market they're hitting here on PC because it's only a PC only game. It's 2v2. It's like a max, like what we said, it's like a max Anarchy.
It's Gundam vs. Gundam 2v2.
And it's I don't know. I guess it's gonna be the same way as like in like was it Tekken something the free
Tekken Revolution.
Tekken Revolution and Soul Calibur Lost Swords, 2 swords,
Broken Swords.
Broken Swords. I don't know, it's weird names, but they're all free, and you pretty much unlock specific characters. Is that how it works? as you progress.
Either
And I'm
that,
sure.
yeah, you either unlock or you buy characters.
Yeah, kind of like it's a lot like also like the Killer Instinct in that sense.
Yeah, that too as well.
Or like how some MOBAs let you buy characters after they cycle or something.
What do you think about well, for one, this game looks pretty interesting. What do you guys think about Namco going all free, like giving their franchises like a free version of it?
They got the balls to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't see Capcom doing.
But
this.
I think the model this is a model of free to play, which I think is okay. I only have experience with Dead or Alive
Ultimate.
Yeah, but that's not Namco, no, that's Tecmo.
That's Tecmo, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Tecmo, but it's like I think we have Dead or Alive, Tekken, and Soul Calibur, which are pretty solid franchises.
Dead or Alive 5 was just the fighting game with locked characters. Tekken Revolution is like it did something different. Like it had the free-to-play power-ups that you can buy, etc.
Yeah. Mm.
So it's more of it has more of the free-to-play formulas.
You, Migs, you've played, I guess all three of these free-to-play fighting games. Is it worth like investing, or is it better to just go straight up to the actual full price, more updated version?
After I played Core Fighters, I bought the full retail copy of Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate. But like Tekken Revolution, I never spent a penny on that game. I just played. It was fun.
And it's still like a Tekken game. That's what
it's a simplified Tekken game with added bullshit, but I found it fun. Plus the online was great. That's what Namco Bandai seems to be good at doing.
Is it them trying to like get more Tekken players, or
I don't know. I think they're just really trying out different things with the free-to-play market and seeing if it works or not.
Does it urge you to buy a Tekken tag too, like right after checking?
I've seen some people like they post about Tekken Revolution asking for how do you do local multiplayer. Then when people tell them it doesn't have any, they go out and buy Tag 2, which is like what 900 pesos now, brand new.
Oh, because they just like the whole Tekken game.
Yeah, because it's the same engine.
It's the same engine.
Or less, same engine.
Cool. Rise of Incarnates. I don't know why it's PC only. I guess they just. I don't know if there's a.
They're trying something new.
They're trying something new.
Yeah, they're trying something new. And actually, it's not too odd seeing fighters on PC. I mean, Street Fighter has a PC release. So.
I know, but it's not like the regular Tekken or Street Fighter. This is actually what Miggy was saying. It's like an arena-based kind of game. I'm not too sure if there's something like that.
Yeah, on PC, free to play. I don't think there's.
Is there anything familiar that we can say now? This is Rise of Incarnate, and it plays just like.
SD
I don't think
Gundam Online.
Was there a PC version of Gundam? Like
SD Gundam Online. It was sort of like that, arena-based online, and it's just not as arcade precise. Like you can scrub through it if you have high enough stats. Hopefully, this one won't have that, because the Gundam versus games are fairly well balanced, even though it's giant robots. Like if a unit is too strong, the cost of it when you die is greater, and it reduces your team points.
That's awesome. I for some reason just thought about Godzilla.
I hope it's going to be balanced and not like.
I want a Godzilla arena match game.
Oh, but there were Godzilla arena fighters.
Yeah, on the GameCube, dude.
On the GameCube.
One.
Bring it back, people.
Godzilla Unleashed.
Hey, if the Pacific Rim game was decent, I hope they make a Godzilla game.
Oh my god, I shit you not, that was actually a decent game. I thought it was be shit, but I like, hey,
it's fun, right?
Pacific Rim, robots
I don't know
punching
what
each other.
Talking about.
It's a free demo on PS3. Well, we have to play that.
Oh god.
There's too many games. There's too many games.
But I also feel the problem with Pacific Rim is it doesn't exactly have a very robust roster of characters. At least Godzilla has like 30 years worth of kaiju to pick from.
Yeah, but the movie's just gonna have Godzilla and people.
Oh, that's the new movie, right?
That's the new movie. Yeah, it's just like any other Hollywood movie where they get the original source. They just start from the origin.
You should do a Let's Play of the GameCube game. I should get my hands on that.
Anyway,
it's fun for sure. Yeah. Anyways, I think we should take a break here.
Yes, we'll take a break here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening for this long. In the second half, we'll be talking more about Xbox One, because they're doing a move this year.
And I think we'll talk a little bit about Zynga also.
Yes, Zynga is back in the podcast because something, well, it's not really a bad thing, more like they just have to do something now.
They're doing something again.
Yeah, well, no, they have to do something because something is happening. We'll talk about that in a bit. Thanks for tuning in again, and we'll see you in a bit.
All right.
And it's the second half of the TMG Podcast. It's episode 29.
And I just shared the best tweet ever with these.
Should we share it to everybody else?
We should share it.
Man, that's breaking news.
That's breaking news.
With Anchorman too.
Shigeru Miyamoto tweeted that he saw a picture of Mario and Luigi kissing one another online.
And
he urges all of us to stop
doing
that.
Yeah, we'll put a link later. In
his defense, that is wrong.
He doesn't know how the internet works. If you ask them to stop, they'll just make more.
Dude, doesn't he know that, what is it, rule, I don't know, what,
Rule 34.
Rule 30, if it exists, there will be porn of it.
Yes.
I don't
Dude,
think he'd understand.
He's from Nintendo. They don't know what's going on.
They don't know anything.
They don't know anything.
You think
It's
that's
Nintendo.
bad, Shiggy? We can show you some really nasty.
Oh my god.
You think
I hope it's a joke. I hope it's a joke. Hi guys for sticking around for the second half of the TMG podcast. We have a couple more we want to talk about. But first, Miggy wants to vent, I guess that's the word, vent, on the iOS game, the Injustice iOS game.
Mobile.
Because they got updated recently.
Yeah, they got a huge update.
A freaking huge update, which is actually pretty big, but...
Yeah, it's a good update, but there are things in it that aggravate me.
And what is that?
So they had a big update. They rehauled the UI. They improved the textures a great deal. The game runs smoother now. They added a few attack effects.
And just to be clear, this is for the iOS
iOS
game.
and Android.
It's not the fighting game. It's just the snap.
Game.
It's the punch your screen to make them attack. Yeah.
So aside from all those changes that are for the better, they added a bunch of new characters to the roster. And it's a lot of characters that we didn't get in the fighting game.
Are you serious?
First,
before
this update, we got another update before. They gave us Darkseid, the ruler of Apocalypse, the dude in that one stage who Omega beams you. He was a stage hazard in the fighting game, and in the iOS, he's a playable character. So that's
they have a character. So they actually had a character.
They have an exclusive character, and now
they had a character model for Darkseid, but they never placed it in.
Yeah, so now he's a exclusive character in the iOS version, and now they added a bunch of other costumes that we never got, even in the Ultimate version. So we have the Batman animated series Harley, complete with the face.
Mm-hmm.
Because we only got the costume for her. But this one, she has the animated face, the Batman costume in Arkham City.
Oh.
So she looks like the cartoon. Then we also have the Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman from Batman Returns.
Oh, that costume. Yeah. Okay.
She's in the iOS version. We also have the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie Sinestro costume.
I like the Harley Quinn, the costume, the animated version. Yep. That's pretty cool.
It looks really good. That's what makes it more upsetting.
But so they added Darkseid, they added extra costumes, they added multiplayer, they polished it up.
Online.
They added more boosters. Is there any other characters they added? Because I'm more frustrated with the fact that they put Darkseid on the original fighting game. More than anything.
The Darkseid I'm fine with because his attack animations are kind of jank and generic. And I'm sure he's going to be in the second one because that's going to happen. But I'm more upset about the costumes because even in the Ultimate version we didn't get these. And for a DC game, costumes are a thing.
That says a lot. To be honest.
Yeah, this game is getting support.
Yeah, because if when the game gets support, I mean, that means that game is doing a lot. Like a lot of people are playing it.
Though, because like
being successful.
You know how in most mobile games they stuff you with pay gates, right?
Dungeon Keeper, yes.
Yeah, like you run out of energy and you can buy these energy cards for $3.
Yeah.
This game has that where you can buy energy cards, but now they have a daily reward system where when you log in every day, you get a certain reward, like in-game cash, additional points for something, and
I really think
they give you also energy cards. So I have like 60 of them. And I haven't even reached half of that ever.
So you don't have you're technically not anymore in the mercy of the real time.
I don't feel the need to buy energy cards. Like I guess someone's buying something, be it I guess character cards or energy cards, but
there's always someone
buying something. This game is getting so much support.
It's getting a lot of support. I remember when I was like commuting way back, like going to Makati on the way from work. It's either when I'm in the shuttle, it's either someone's playing Candy Crush or someone's beating the crap out of his phone because he's playing Injustice. It's either of those two games, really. And that's like maybe 6 months ago. So, and to see that they have a new update, a huge update where they put
it came out of nowhere.
And then I guess they didn't tell anybody. Who knew? Apparently, I deem this actually more successful than the fucking fighting game at this point. Because it's
sad that it is.
It's sad that it's
as well as the fighting game did.
Yeah, and the fighting game is amazing.
Hopefully this will fund Injustice 2.
I think it will.
Yep.
Because you know that's going to happen with how well.
Definitely will. Although I hear now like they're
Mortal Kombat 10 is a priority, man.
Yeah,
MK10 will happen.
Is that really happening?
Yep.
Is that really what NetherRealm's focused now?
Ed Boon loves the Mortal Kombat 4 character, so this will happen. And you know how the ending of MK9 story mode where everyone is technically dead. It's paving the way for MK4 characters. Chinook, Fujin, bullshit.
Is that what they're gonna do? That's pretty awesome to do.
Back. Sub-Zero will come back for.
Well,
they always come back.
Sub-Zero is gonna be there.
They always come back,
even though they're dead.
They always come back. That's what I know. They're like what's that? They're like plants. They just sprout out.
They removed Scorpion for one game and people lost their shit.
It's like removing Ryu.
It would be like exactly. It's exactly like removing Ryu.
Yeah.
If they may release Street Fighter 3 with no Ryu, oh my god.
If they kill Ryu off,
Street Fighter 3, the new generation would have been so.
There's gonna be riots with Daigo leading it.
But I have a feeling they'll come up with some bullshit reason why all the characters are alive again.
Yeah, of course.
There's no way they can go fight a game out without including pretty much the entire roster from the MK9.
You remember how they killed off Liu Kang before and they brought him back, a zombie Liu Kang?
Yeah, exactly.
And he has the slave chains.
Oh yeah. But I do hope though that because from what I like,
even Johnny Cage was killed off in like the
not anymore.
But yeah,
the retcon is he's alive.
He's alive. The one thing I like about NetherRealms though, like as much as they have a solid foundation for fighting games, I like the fact that they actually can make a really I think they're the only developers right now that can make a top-notch story for a fighting.
Actually, that's true.
I think with the B-movie cutscenes, those are great, man.
No, but I think the story mode from Mortal Kombat 9 and Injustice were probably the best story modes I've ever played in a
fighting game. Ever. It beats Street Fighter, Tekken, anything.
Street Fighter has garbage story, even the cutscenes.
Yeah, I know. Even Tekken is garbage story. I mean, I think what I really liked about it is it gave you a taste of pretty much every character, so you kind of had an idea of.
Yeah, you don't just play one character throughout the whole story.
Yeah, it also helps the roster, yeah.
Right.
And I don't know. I just hope they continue that because I think that's their niche. That they can actually. If the one thing that's worst out of fighting games is always the story, and for NetherRealms to have their best high point is pretty much the story. It's just amazing. And from there they can just because Mortal Kombat 9 is it? And Injustice, they're just amazing fighting games. And if I can see Mortal Kombat 10, it'll just get even better. So I can't wait to see what's next for them. And Injustice is still hitting strong. Is it an Evo right now for this year?
I think so.
It is an Evo. I mean, there's a documentary about it.
The scene is still there.
What?
I think it's bigger than MK even.
Oh, it's for sure. It's DC.
No, but I know there's a documentary about the competitive scene for Injustice, right?
I'm not sure about that. I haven't heard
It
about
was
that.
linked in Injustice Philippines Facebook. I remember this.
Oh, the Year of Injustice thing?
Why am I in that
That
group?
was a compilation of like tournament highlights. It was really
Was
cool.
check if this.
Got my blood boiling with hype.
Yeah, it's funny that I'm in Injustice 4 Philippines, where I only played the game like, what, a month? And I just gave up. I'm not
Hey,
even give up.
man.
Like, I passed on.
We met
Weird.
Nightwing because of that.
Huh? We met Nightwing, and
Here, it's called A Year of Injustice.
Yep, that's just a
Yeah.
highlight reel.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's a good highlight reel, though. It's pretty
yeah,
hype.
well, it's good. It's good to see that Injustice franchise is actually getting some stride, getting some traction. Because most likely, we might see a follow up for this franchise, because it's a solid fighting game. And the iOS apparently successful, so we're definitely going to see something new out of it.
Yeah, and the only reason I remember the only reason I ever got the Android game was I wanted my
The costume.
The costume.
The Batman Beyond.
yeah, which I haven't even finished getting. I got Bane and
Yeah, that was the reason I played it as well, but I'm still playing it now because it's a good iOS game. It's a good mobile game.
Still, yeah, it's one of the best ones, I think, and it's one of the best looking ones as well.
Yep, Unreal Engine is good on mobile.
Yeah. Moving on. I want to talk about a little bit of Xbox, because they're gonna try to do something very, very
Ballsy.
ballsy or dumb. I don't know. They want to go to
Both.
Japan. They want to go to Japan. Microsoft wants to go to Japan with Xbox One. They finally gave an announcement. They're finally gonna try to like technically invade home base of Sony on September 4. The console's finally officially arriving there. Is it a good idea? Is it worth it? I don't.
well,
Probably not.
consider the Xbox 360 sort of flopped big time in Japan.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the original Xbox was ever.
I doubt that.
Was it ever released in Japan? The original Xbox?
I don't know. I don't know. Xbox 360
Maybe,
for
because I
sure.
think there were a few exclusive games, like Japanese games on the original Xbox.
Hmm.
So maybe.
No, because I remember the original. What they, at least with the 360, in its earlier days, they sort of had a whole plan to go in with a bunch of JRPGs. Remember, they had Lost Odyssey, Blue
Oh, yeah.
Dragon.
Yeah.
They were
Tales of Vesperia.
Eternal Sonata,
Yeah.
Infinite Undiscovery, Tales of Vesperia. So they were kind of coming in and saying, "Hey guys, we're the console to get if you want to play JRPGs."
Which they actually were.
Which
I
they
think.
were for a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it just never took off, I think.
It never. I don't know why. I guess they're just like. I guess it's very loyal, because like it's literally Sony is Japan's Sony, and as much as people want to buy a game in the Xbox 360, they still prefer it in their PlayStation system, and they're not. I can't say that Xbox has the most appealing exclusives. It's just they're not. They have exclusives, but they're not as robust as Sony, and I think that's the problem when you go to Japan. Like they want more. Oh, I want to play an RPG. I want to play with this. It's only for PS4. And if you go to Xbox, oh, I get this kind of shooter and this kind of shooter and maybe this adventure. Like it's not as and maybe Killer Instinct. It's not as robust as Sony, and I think that's their problem when they were getting in. Like as well as like when they got in.
It's not as strong as Sony.
It's not as versatile because it's not as robust. Because like for example. They went on 360 when they went to Japan, but they went all JRPGs. Not everybody's all JRPGs, you know. It's still it's an effective way, but it's still not as robust as, for example, where Sony just throws in random exclusives. Because I think when you buy a console, it's also based on exclusives as well, because it's based on games.
For me, that's a big thing, actually.
Yeah, it's a very big thing. So it depends on what they're gonna plan for the Xbox One, but I know that. When they announced this, they said that they have 40 plus developers pledging support on the Xbox One for Japan. And this announcement, it's coming in September 4. It's like around the corner for Tokyo Game Show. So I think they have a master plan on how Microsoft can get inside.
I hope they do.
Japan, because, well, I hope they learned what they got out of 360 when they were in Japan.
Yeah.
Which is nothing.
But it's going to be difficult to get over also just the stigma of the name of Xbox, because I think the perception of Microsoft there in Japan is like, oh, it's crap, you know, like why bother?
Is it why bother? Is it really that?
Well, I don't know. I'm not Japanese. I don't live in Japan, but the feeling I get is that the perception of Xbox 360 and Xbox is still very negative there over PS4. You know.
Yeah.
And PS4 is, and can you honestly say the exclusives now, like Rise and Killer Instinct, would be enough to get the Japanese gaming crowd in? Even
no, but here's an interesting just reason why I wanted to mention it in this episode, because they announced they haven't fully confirmed the launch lineup for Japan, but they did mention Forza 5, Kinect Sports, Sunset Overdrive, Halo on Xbox One, Dead Rising 3, Rise, Call of Duty Ghosts, Tomb Raider, Thief, and Murder Soul Suspect. So why it's very interesting is because they have 3 games that haven't been. I don't think they have a release date yet. Sunset Overdrive, the new Halo, and Murder Soul Suspect.
But again, I feel those games don't cater well to the Japanese market.
The Japanese, yeah, true.
Yeah, because even the Zero Escape series, which is like a what do you call that? Visual novel, which visual novels are big in Japan. Like didn't do all that well though. So I'm not sure if even Murdered Soul Suspect would be a hit.
What do you think they need, to hit that Japanese market? What is Sony doing? Is it just really a brand? I don't know. Mind control-ish. I just love Sony. I just can't touch Microsoft. What?
they like those quirky RPGs and SRPGs like this Gaia. The Atelier series.
But like what we mentioned, they went full on JRPGs, but it didn't really. It kind of helped, but it didn't really do in the long run. It didn't really kept them in sustain mode. I think
of those weird girly shooters.
Oh God, the bullet hell shooters.
Yeah,
the Xbox got a lot of those.
So yeah, I think Xbox One's also in the same boat here in the Philippines, whereas
it's not strong.
I don't think it's as strong as well.
Or even collectible Monster Hunter style games. I don't
Monster style games.
Or
yeah.
Monster Hunter in general.
Yeah, but what would you consider that kind of game? What is
the genre of Monster Hunter? I don't know.
Yeah.
RPG action.
Action RPG. I'd put it action RPG.
Well, I have a list here. Top 30 games Japanese gamers looking forward to from last year, from 2013. So, for number 1, Dragon Quest VII. Number 2, Monster Hunter. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Oh wow.
Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. Shin Songaku Musu, which is Dynasty Warriors 7.
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors.
Lightning Returns. Shin Megami Tensei. Luigi's
Lightning Returns is still around. Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm just giving you the top 10. Shin Megami Tensei 4, Luigi's Mansion 2, GTA 5, and then JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. And then the rest are, those are the top 10. I'm just doing a quick run through because I think the only game, The Last of Us is also there, but The Last of Us was rated 25.
Rest of Us.
So in this whole list, there are only 2 Western games, Grand Theft Auto
5
and The Last of Us.
And the top one was?
Dragon Quest VII.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess they have to go all JRPG as well, or some other mode, because the Xbox One's features is not gonna bode well with the Japanese people. They won't care.
I don't think that TV crap is gonna work.
It's not gonna work. So this lineup is Halo, Sunset Overdrive, Thief, Murdered Soul Suspect, other shebangs and all that. It's gonna be hard. I don't think they need a Japanese RPG. I don't think there's anything the PS3 has the JRPGs right now for this year and for next. I think.
Yeah, well, we haven't had any major clear announcement yet. I think honestly at the moment JRPGs are still strongest strangely enough on the 3DS, Vita, and the PS3.
Bravery Default is the reason, I guess.
And
but
we'll see. Maybe Microsoft has something planned that we're not considering here. But at the moment, it looks a little. I think without a more solid title lineup to cater specifically to the Japanese market.
But it's For those who are Halo fans, that's a pretty awesome news because if they're confirming, well, not reconfirming, but they're more like mentioning that the Halo for Xbox One is due for release for Japan on launch day. We might have a Halo by October.
Yeah, but will Japanese gamers really care about that? I don't know. You know.
No, I'm talking about in general.
Oh,
like,
in general.
In general, like if they're announcing that this could be here in Japan, that in the US, it most likely will be earlier or some other date or whatever. E3, if only it could get here next week and we'll just so much. I'm positive like Sony and Microsoft will just blow. Like they'll just go crazy with games. I'm not too sure about Nintendo, but it's gonna be crazy. I can't wait. But it's definitely they have definitely a hard thing to penetrate right now. Another
That's
one.
What she said.
That's what she said. I was waiting for that one. Another company is also gonna have a hard time. I don't know, picking up the pieces, I guess, or hard to penetrate the already crowded market, which is Facebook games and mobile. Zynga.
The former king.
Was it the former king? Yeah, I guess so.
They were the talk of the town. I mean, a while back with how much money they were making and how many people they had playing. But as it turns out, Zynga is not in a very good position right now. In fact, in just 1 year, which was from first quarter of 2013 to first quarter 2014, Zynga has lost almost half of its daily active users, which is pretty big.
It's pretty big because we're talking about last year they had 53 million and now they have 27. That's a lot.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's a lot, and that's a lot of Farmville. It's just like there's no more farmers maintaining
and
it.
I think this sort of coincides with when they were looking for, like, I think they knew it. I think they knew they were on a slide downward, and it was last year just after E3 where Don Matrick Don Matrick moved from Microsoft to Zynga as the new CEO, replacing Pincus, the ex-CEO of Zynga, who, by all accounts, was not really an innovator, but more of a, like, oh, what are they doing? Let's just copy.
Businessman.
Yeah. So, Donnie has got a lot of stuff on his plate, honestly.
Donnie.
But wait, so why do you guys think that they lost so many users to begin with?
I don't know. I don't play their games.
Well, for one, I consider myself a very updated person in terms of the gaming industry, and I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't know what's their latest. I don't know what's going on. They just don't have that hip or any of those viral games coming out because right now Zynga is still translated as Farmville and Cityville
and Mafia Wars, right?
And at this point, they're very stale. They're still, I'm sure, very good games for the people that play it, but it's not enough sustaining power for like 50 million of their active users. I'm sure they're already flighted to Flappy Birds or whatever other.
I think it's a lot of factors.
And yeah, that's true.
I want to go through them because I think it's an interesting case study on just what not to do in this sort of business space. What they did right, first of all, was they got into the game early. Like they were the pioneers.
They're definitely the pioneers of like the games in Facebook.
Of Facebook gaming.
When
right?
Facebook was going up and everything, and when you want a game in Facebook, it's Zynga games.
Right.
And then that's
they were the ones who sort of developed the whole paywall concept. Like,
are they the reason why we hate mobile games now?
Are they
the first ones?
Partially. I think they were the ones who were the most visible, I guess, because they had Mafia Wars, which was very popular. They had Farmville, which was very popular.
That's very true. Mafia is one of the first ones, actually.
Yeah. And all those games are like, hey, you want more energy? Just pay $2 and we'll give you more energy, right? So that was sort of their thing. Where they failed was, I think they started to be overly reliant on Facebook at the point of time where people were moving to mobile. Because nowadays, like, I don't really know a lot of people who still play games on Facebook. Like, if I think about it,
I stopped playing Facebook games like a year ago.
Yeah, the only Facebook game I played was Tetris, and even I stopped playing that.
Yeah, and do you have any friends who still play Facebook stuff religiously? Probably not a lot.
I do. I get a lot.
I get invites from my high school.
I have 100 invites for games I don't want.
I block them.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I should.
But
I block them from sending
definitely
invites.
not as many as before, I'm sure. Right?
Yeah, like
you're not getting spammed as much.
my
as
old
you
friends who would play like Mafia Wars religiously, like stop.
Right, and because that's partially because a lot of people are now playing their shit on their phone, right? It's not
For sure.
on
No,
Facebook.
for sure.
Playing Injustice Mobile.
The number of people playing in Facebook has been reduced, definitely because of mobile. There's a lot more. I think when the rise of Facebook games went up, mobile slowly was catching up, and eventually Facebook went down, and then now mobile is the top right now. So it's definitely mobile.
I think the other thing they did was they made some bad business acquisitions in that sense. Do you remember when they bought OMG Pop, the guys who made Draw Something?
Yeah, which they
Oh, I totally forgot that happened.
yeah, they did that, and I don't know why.
They bought it for like $1 billion. I don't know how much. They spent a lot of
And
money.
then people
on
stopped playing Draw Something.
Yeah, they bought it at its peak.
Yeah,
So when they got it, people just like
Yeah, they just stopped.
it was the most expensive time to buy it too, and I think that hurt them.
I forgot that acquisition. Yeah. What else do you think? I wasn't paying attention, but every time I hear about in the past 1 or 2 years, every time I hear about Zynga,
it's never in a positive light, right?
It's definitely not in a positive light. The oh my god pop, whatever the acquisition, their losses, but for some reason that losses were still like they're still up. Like they've been losing like what 20-30 million profit loss and all that, but they're still up. They have a lot of money, but they never had. I don't know. They never expanded technically. They're always the Facebook company. They never. Can you update me? Is there anything aside from Cityville or
Frontierville?
Farmville?
They did the Tiny Towers ripoff.
What was that? Them?
Yeah, there was a Pet Society ripoff. That's the other thing about Zynga is that, like, as I mentioned, they were not. I would say that they were innovative in the terms of the free-to-play model and how to monetizing users. They lacked in any innovation in actual game design. They would literally just carbon copy what their competitors were doing, and you know.
They're the expensive version of Gameloft.
Yeah, exactly. They carbon copy what their competitors are doing and just slap the Zynga name on it and hope for the best. And so I think that also led to their downfall in that I think people got smart because all the bad press they were getting, plus the very clear lack of originality from their end, and I think that's something even casual gamers picked up at some point. I think just eventually people just saying, hey, I don't want to play Farmville anymore, or whatever. Or
they actually was that trademark Ville?
They tried to mark the term Ville. So.
I guess I don't know. What do you think they should? What do you think they need right now at this point?
Well, they need
to bounce back because they technically now have to work with half of their player base, which is it's still 27 million.
Yeah, and that's still a good and decent number, but definitely not the powerhouse that it used to be, the evil empire that it used to be. And I'm kind of happy it happened because I'm sure this is a humbling move for them that they aren't untouchable. And as far as I know, like their IPO is just crap right now because people are still there's still a bad perception of them in the markets. So I think one thing they need to do, well, or at least Donnie really needs to work on fixing their their branding because right now their branding is like everyone's shitting on them, right? Like
no, I don't see a clear picture aside from Ville. Because right now, I'm trying to look around the list of games they've worked on, and it's just Villes. Farmville, Farmville 2.
So maybe that's one thing they need.
Chefville, Cityville. I don't know what the fuck Chefville was. They have all the Villes, and then they have Zynga plus Poker, Zynga plus Casino. I don't think they're looking at the big picture. They're just going straight for a quick buck.
Yeah,
that's a very casual, simple way. That's what I'm looking at right now.
And so they need a bit of a longer term outlook on what they want to do with their IPs and how to best to do that. At the same time, I think they need to start getting more original in their game design.
Because right now the only brand that's actually worth mentioning is Villes, which is
Villes, right?
There's nothing else. That's why I think that's one of the major factors of why they lost half the base because
Yeah, because at
they
the end
never
of the day, Farmville is the same as Frontierville, is the same as Cityville. It's just a different coat of paint, right?
And you can't blame a couple of players that went after 3 months of playing it, I will move on. Because games are not, well, I don't think games are meant to last like a years from, well.
Maybe that's another thing that they didn't think of the lifespan of a game. They just kept, I mean, how many years of playing Farmville can you go without getting bored of it eventually, right?
No, and then, at the same time, for me, their niche or their market, which is like casual Facebook, gamers and all that. They're now transformed to mobile gamers where they play a game for a week or two and then they move on to the next one.
Right.
So they're now more flighty compared to before.
Right. The ADD has increased.
Yeah, the ADD definitely has increased, especially for the casual market. Because I'm sure like maybe 90 to 80% of their people
I think that's also
casual.
the problem with Zynga's monetization model is that they rely on what they call whales. A whale is basically
what does it mean?
A whale is a user, a player who spends
a lot,
significantly more money on a game than the average. So these are like power users basically of Zynga games.
So they're the reason why we have stupid markets.
Yeah, exactly. And that's you see it you see the influence of it definitely in other games.
Yeah.
Dungeon Keeper, all that shit.
EA,
exactly.
EA.
But to EA's credit, at least they have a variety of games. They have Plants vs. Zombies, which plays completely differently from Dungeon Keeper, which plays completely differently from, so there's variety there, which is something that I think Zynga lacks.
Which Zynga lacks, and that's the biggest problem right now. I think it's just they just need more franchises. Because, like, for example, one company like Mojang, Minecraft.
Mojang, yeah.
Yeah, Mojang, okay. They have Minecraft is still at its peak because each and every platform, I don't know why, it just starts selling like crazy. Like,
yeah, I'm surprised the console versions are selling as well as they are.
Yeah, the pocket versions are crazy. But I can now see Mojang actually moving forward. Like, he's now focusing on different franchises because he's working on a game called Scrolls.
Yeah. Is that still alive?
It's still alive. Believe it or not, it's a card game.
The one that got sued.
Yeah, yeah, really. Bethesda went after them for that. But that's also because Zynga was in a position where one hit wonder, a lot of money, but now what to do with the money? So like Zynga is now in like Mojang. Why I'm mentioning Mojang is because Mojang is now in a position where they could be like Zynga, like if they don't act like they don't start using their money wisely before, because Minecraft will definitely tank eventually. Something else will take that slot. They need to diversify.
It's the same with any long-lasting game. I think eventually, you have to consider that. Like World of Warcraft, for example, has been going on for a very long time. But sooner than later, it's gonna die. I mean, not anytime soon. I don't think it'll die anytime soon. But eventually, it will. And Blizzard has to be prepared. For that, because they're losing a significantly amount of recurring income from that.
Yeah, but I think that's a bit different because for one, you have like a player base that's similar to Zynga's player base that are committed to every month paying $15.
Yeah.
Whereas Zynga's Farmville, they don't really they have the option to pay.
Mm.
So like people are like maybe 20% of their active users are the ones paying constant, are the ones giving the money while the others are just
I think that's also another thing. I think they just got greedy. I mean, they just started putting paywalls everywhere, and
they could also be greedy too. Like I was mentioning a while ago as well, that they made a game just for a quick buck, like just a very quick like casino game or whatever.
Mm.
They just want greedy, just want more money.
And like back to the World of Warcraft thing, the WoW players are more loyal to Blizzard compared to the mobile.
You have a community. Blizzard has a community, whereas I don't think Farmville people talk to each other about how amazing
the Farmville community, as far as you're concerned, is your immediate friend list who play it also. That's it. That's your community.
That's your community, yeah.
There might be a community like on the forums and stuff like that, but I don't think the interaction level is the same.
That's another problem. Like if Zynga tanks and the players who like Farmville, they'll be sad, but they won't care. And after a week, they'll just move on.
Majority of the Farmville players probably don't even know who Zynga is.
No, actually, this is an interesting case. Do you remember a few months ago, EA closed down Pet Society and
They did?
The Sims. Yeah, they did. And there
I
was
didn't know that.
Wait, The Sims Medieval? Because I have the game.
The Sims Facebook?
The Facebook Sims.
Oh.
Okay.
Not the
I
Sims
never got
Medieval.
to try it out.
No, but the thing is, like, I remember I had a friend who was a very avid Pet Society player,
Wow.
and it was I was surprised at the community feedback reaction to that. It was very, very distraught, very upset. Almost like the Mass Effect 3 ending in a weird way. I mean,
It's a
You're
great
sour about that? You're so sour about that,
Don't
aren't
you
you?
like the colors?
no, but I mean, like, I was
want
just
to play
surprised at
Magus
how much.
instead.
You chose red, didn't you?
I couldn't believe a game like Pet Society could elicit such a reaction from its closing. But
That's
these
true.
guys were writing petitions. They were, doing all sorts of crap to try to convince you to keep the game going. I was very, very shocked. So don't underestimate the communities of these games because they are there. It's just maybe we're not in that circle and we're not.
Okay, yeah, you have a good point. Maybe, yeah. I just hope that that's true to the point that they have a community because they want. I'm sure Zynga needs that kind of community support where, like, they need to keep going.
Do you think Don is a good person though to bring Zynga back up from this point though? Like,
I think so
Sounds like a
because.
suit.
well,
It's not like a suit, but he still made Kinect work. He still made 360
no,
work.
exactly.
Hopefully he makes better decisions.
Don might be a suit, but he's less of a suit than Pincus was,
Yeah,
and he's
that-
more
that-
of a
that-
gamer
that's
for
true.
sure. I mean, you can't spend that many years in Xbox without knowing a bit more of the gamer market.
Without
No, but
feeling the hate
it's
for
definitely
Kinect.
a hard challenge. It's a way harder challenge for him because then he's now catering to a casual side, a different view of the gaming industry because we have people that want to buy great games and all that. He's technically catering to majority of people that might play or might not or not.
It's a
maybe
different.
gamers.
It's a different kind of game altogether. It's the games where you play for 5 minutes, and then.
Yeah, or it's the game where you're like, shit, I have to pick up my what's that? I'll just put it here. It's really there's 5 minutes bursts, and then it's just to kill time. It's just not. It's different. I think it's different. I'm sure he thinks of it as a challenge, and I think he's the right person for it. But he's not in a. I don't think he has the. I don't think he's definitely in the bad position at this point. But I think he'll be able to pull something off.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the man Don Matrix actually saw it. And, oh shit, this got tank. I'll just do something before it when it tanks. I'm sure they had this plan because I'm sure they saw it like dwindling down slowly. So hopefully,
or maybe he wants to kill Zynga.
and then he gets the job back. And so why does he? What? There's an actual plan.
He's gonna fire everyone.
No, I think Zynga's name is forever for core gamers is kind of forever tarnished in that sense.
It is very tarnished. Like when I hear,
yeah, but for casual people, I don't think they really care too much. I mean, they'll know Zynga and they'll know it has a reputation, but I don't think if they enjoy the game, they'll still play it. It's not like they'll do any dumb shit.
That's how people should think. If you enjoy the game, play it.
No, exactly, and I think that this applies to you can apply this to any gaming company out there. If you make games people like playing, you'll make money. Simple as that, right? Like
David Cage, make a game people like. None of that Beyond Two Souls shit.
Hey, easy. I want to play that game still. As much as as much as I agree to your video review, I still want to play it because
it's the only red stain on our sidebar.
It's only Ellen Page.
It will not be the only red stain very soon because me and Migs have a video.
But are we gonna review that though?
Oh wait, you wanna go there? You wanna now shift to a more negative light? That's like yeah, I think we have time for one more. Like let's hit this now.
Yeah, we have a fun review. Not a review, like a let's play. Maybe we can do a full review. If I get the chance to finish the damn
play
thing,
more of it.
if I can stomach playing through the rest of the game, I'll try to give it a more proper review.
For those who don't know this game, Miggy, please let us know what is this.
For those who don't know this game, which is all of you probably,
which is 98% of the world, I think.
You're probably still the only guy who bought this game.
In the Philippines or maybe in Southeast
Did they
Asia.
even announce it in like their Facebook group? No, right?
No, nothing.
No.
It was so obscure. Data Blitz did not announce it on their Facebook
Because they probably didn't have PR.
I'm sure when they were shipping the new batch of games, Magus accidentally was slipped into the box without them knowing.
What the fuck is this?
And then they're like, oh, okay, we have an extra slot on the shelf, and all of a sudden, Will shows up, picks it up.
Wait. If they did post it on Facebook, what do you think would be the all caps first sentence?
Oh,
look, they just got a new shipment of 3DS XL soft pouches. Put your armor on.
Wow.
I'm sure they're gonna go sorcerer with all the. I don't know. That's horrible.
Count all the colors. Or
be the sorcerer.
Like the Mass Effect 3 ending.
I don't know. Anyway, going back into the topic, Magus.
That's the title of this game.
Yeah, is it Magus or Magnus?
It's Magus. Magus.
Yeah, it's actually a PS3 title that none of you know. I'm not too sure if you want to share it, but yeah, guys, go ahead. Like, let us lay it on us. What the hell is this Magnus crap?
I still don't know what it is.
I can't say crap. I haven't played it. But
yeah, I'm trying to think of. I can't even think of what Data Blitz would put as a big one-liner. Like, relive the PS2 era. I don't know.
The early PS2 era.
Well, that alone, that already says a lot for the graphics. Let's start with the graphics. It really looks like a PS2, like the starting era, like the first year of PS2.
The pre-rendered cutscene looks so bad.
Yeah,
it's like a junior developer's project or something.
Like a thesis.
God,
it was a thesis from Sony, bunch of developers. It's a reality show. It's
what happened at Game Jam.
It's what happened in Game Jam. Do you guys have a gist of the story? Like, what is this?
We skipped everything. We skipped all the dialogue.
No, but like you're some kind of reincarnated god.
You're some kind of reincarnated god, and there's this lady who keeps following you around.
And somehow you're in jail at the start of the game.
Fuck, the start of the game, it's like, it has dialogue choices like, oh, what do you think you're Commander Shepard?
Yeah. When I just synced up the video to the mic audio from our LP, and like the first thing that was said that made me lost my shit was, what do you know about the Reapers? The moment the dialogue choices came out.
It's really like they're trying. I mean, I can see exactly what they're going for. They're going for a Dragon Age style thing.
Third-person shooter.
Yeah. Oh god.
I saw the gameplay. It's mostly like you throwing colors at people.
Yeah. The RGB, man.
RGB, like I think blue was ice. I'm not too sure.
We don't even know because like green is also fire.
Green can be fire. I'm not too sure. No. I don't know. Like, what else can you guys say about this game? Magus, would we know the developer? It's an unknown developer, obviously.
Axis. Just Axis.
Black Castle or something like that? I forgot. But,
then it wasn't Axis then. They just published the shit.
So they just...
Oh god, I don't know, man. I don't even know why Axis... Again, I have to reiterate, the reason why I looked at this game and said, oh, okay, was because of the name Axis on it. Now, Axis normally... are the guys who kind of bring these obscure Japanese games over. Mm-hmm. I think they were the ones who brought the first... Aren't they the ones who bringing in BlazBlue? Correct me if I am wrong.
Yeah, they're the ones who brought BlazBlue to the States.
Right? So, like, I do like... I'm a big fan of these, like, kind of obscure type Japanese games like Atlas brings in or NIS America, those sort of stuff. So I thought, okay, cool, Axis is this new game, and it says Magus, so I looked it up, so the first thing I see is the bloody, the cover, and it's just this disgusting...
It's so sad.
It's like this really bad...
It's really bad Photoshop.
Like some student's 3D model of a knight Photoshopped, it looked like that.
They just pasted it on.
And I was like, oh wow, I can already tell, I felt a feeling in my gut, this is gonna be terrible. This is going to be absolutely terrible, and I want to play it. You know? It's like that.
Is
it wrong for me to? I don't know. It's maybe.
I went and Googled it. I found nothing. Absolutely nothing online about it. The only thing available was they had a page on the Axis website and with a 30-second video clip of the first cutscene that we saw.
God.
The one where he's touching the arrow.
Which shows nothing, right?
Yeah, which shows nothing.
It just does this weird Hadouken with all those teeth in his mouth.
Yeah.
All those teeth.
It looks like he has way too much teeth in his mouth. I don't know. I should count.
That's where all the modeling money went.
Yeah, no, and then I found a video on NeoGAF of an interview with the developer, who looks like he belongs in a death metal band. And I was like, oh god.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Now I really want to play this. So I went to database, but I couldn't justify to myself, how can I buy this for full price? This looks like shit. But then the collector in me was also thinking, you know what, this game's probably going to get one run, and that's it. It's going to be pretty rare after that. So I was thinking, okay.
It's going to be one of those games future Let's Players
I was really debating, do I want to, I didn't even think Datablitz would ever get a copy. I was thinking, like, should I order this? And I walk in Datablitz one day and I see it on the shelf, like, oh my god, it's here. And it's like it was cheap. It was like.
Did they try hard to sell you on the game?
No. I picked it up and I looked at it, I brought it to the counter and I asked the lady, like, am I the first person to buy this? And she said yes.
And how much was it? How much did
it was like $1,250. It wasn't that expensive.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
If it was 1.8, that's bullshit.
That's actually a good price. I think that's a good price for if you have no expectations and you actually want to try out.
In fact, the lady was asking me what the game was because she had no idea what it was. I was like, well,
maybe you got the only copy that ever got you.
No, that's the sad thing. They had more copies. So, like, I don't. Whatever. Anyways,
push this game hard.
Yes, I will. Me and Migs did a playthrough of it for the first hour.
I'm working on it.
The first hour skipping all the dialogue because we couldn't. The dialogue is really bad.
At some point when the controller was given to me, I just mashed through the dialogue, and then we had to figure out what to do afterwards.
Yeah, originally when you do that happens.
There's even this one really weird part. Remember that weird part with the skeleton? And then you just told it to die, and it died.
Oh yeah.
What?
The hub world, the base.
There's a skeleton in the hub world, and then you talk to it, and it's like, what do you want me to do? And there's an option there, I want you to die. So we told it to die, and it died.
He said very well, then he collapsed.
Yeah,
and he never respawned. He's just dead.
That's horrible. You just killed that's horrible. You just let a skeleton, you ordered a skeleton to die?
Well, he had no problems with it, so.
Apparently, very well. It's just like, he just crumbles, that's it?
Yeah, then he's just gone.
And then that's
forever.
it. And we were like, who the fuck was that? Do we care? Nope. Let's keep going. So.
You know how I mentioned, I heard that localizing games is not actually all that hard or expensive?
Yeah.
This might be the proof of that. Maybe all the extra money from the localization went to this game. Maybe this is the proof that we need. But not the one.
Was it a 2013 game or 2014 game?
I think it's this year.
What?
Because like Will said, when he looked it up, there was nothing. But now there's reviews of it.
There are, and the other thing I just sort of realized is do you remember all the merp people we had to fight? Oh god,
all the knights who looked exactly the same, just with different color palettes, who we thought were good, but sometimes they're bad.
Yeah, we couldn't tell who the bad guys were. That's the other thing.
It's the same guy, but he has gold on his forehead, and he's talking to
Joystick has a review. Best worst game.
Is it this
Magus
year?
review. A month ago. Yeah. It's a month ago.
Game of the year.
Well, it's 1.5 over 5. Still, I can't in good conscience. Wait, here's the last paragraph of Joystick's review. Thank you for reviewing this, by the way. I'm sure it was painful. Still, I can't in good conscience recommend Magus as its gailing retail price of $30. For under 10, it could be a solid way to entertain some like-minded and hopefully non-sober friends for an evening. Magus is a work of intentional comic genius, but that's about all it has going for it.
Wow.
We have to review it now. We have to.
We have to. Anyways,
to.
I think
This is gonna be our deadly premonition. Are we gonna hype this up?
we
We
should.
should. Let's call Jim Sterling. Yo, have you heard of this game called Magus?
It could be your
It's
next
like
deadly
it's not
premonition.
broken. Right? We didn't find any like game-breaking bugs.
No, actually, it wasn't broken. That's true.
It's just really boring.
It's just really bad.
Stale.
It's bland. The graphics
It
are
happened,
terrible.
like, 30 minutes in. No, not even 30 minutes. 10 minutes in.
Okay, the next time we go live for a podcast, and if we do it in Will's house, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it.
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna,
Cool,
try to
Max.
play it. You're gonna be like,
I'm gonna sit on your couch and just gonna.
Yeah, we're
try
just gonna like
take
lay
it
back. Just you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna skip on the dialogue. I will
Oh,
understand
you're
why.
gonna continue where we left off.
yeah,
Okay.
we beat
Okay,
it.
fine.
I don't
You're
know
gonna
what
go
we
into
did.
this blind.
Is there moral choices?
There
There
Is
are-
it
doesn't seem to be.
There doesn't seem to be
There's
because
choices, but there doesn't seem to be any
Yeah.
morality
'cause
value.
I remember there's one while we were still trying to read the articles. I was intentionally trying to be an asshole, but it didn't make any difference at the end. So
Yeah, because the lady like removed the other choices.
yeah.
For those who actually want to, attempt to play this game, I think we'll have our video up soon of our Let's Play of it. But I'll try to find a video of this game.
If not the trailer, then at least a teaser.
Yeah,
This is
I'll
like
put it
an
in
hour, 10 minutes of footage.
I'll put it in the description so you guys have an idea on what Will and Miggy experienced, pretty much. Because I guess it's really hard to explain. It came out this year, and it's pretty much a PS2 game on a PS3 platform.
That's exactly what it is. It looks like an old-ass game. It plays
Yeah,
like an old-ass game.
Yeah, so if you guys are pretty interested in how bad it is, well, based on what they say, how bad it is, I'll leave a video in the description below so you guys can check it out. I think I have to cut it now here. Thanks for listening in, guys. Are we good? Is there anything else you guys want to mention before I cut it out? No?
I don't
Are
know.
we all good?
Oh shit, Will.
I
Will.
think. Oh, okay. I thought Will just left. Like,
No, I'm
hello?
here.
USB.
Oh, there. Okay, there. I thought when I said that's it, and then you just left.
No, I'm still here. I don't know what happened.
Disconnect.
Okay, well he's here again, but now we have to cut this episode. We're done. I think we're done. Are we done?
Support Magus. Buy that game.
Or that? There you
Game
go.
of the year.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. This was episode 29. If you guys want to hear our review with the developers of Magus interview, I'm gonna put those videos as well. If you want to see the interview and the review of Magus, so you guys will get a good glimpse of it. But yeah, if you want to listen to any of our previous episodes of the TMG Podcast, you can check our website at toomuchgaming.com. That's 2 with the number 2. And we're also in iTunes. We are also in iTunes. You can subscribe, rate, comment, give us your concerns, your thoughts, or if you want any topics you want us to discuss, or you want to join the conversation, you can also email us at thetmgpodcast@gmail.com. Miggy does hell of a good work with his YouTube videos. You can check out all his vids at TMG Blog. That's about it. We have an episode, every Tuesday. We do this every week, and yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Check out our
is there-
live stream, because I'm sure we're all gonna play Dark Souls until the end of time.
Yes, we also live stream in Twitch if you guys want to hang out, and well, if I'm still playing Dark Souls, you can hang
If
out.
it's not you, then it's me playing Dark Souls.
Yeah, and if it's not Miggy, it's someone else playing Dark Souls. It's all Dark Souls for a whole month. I think.
Or FF14,
I want to play that game.
because
Yeah.
Arlie's playing FF14.
So we have a live stream. You can check it out. You can hang out with us if you want. We pretty much when we play a game, we pretty much go live with it. And then if you guys want to hang, it's fine. But yeah, that's it. Thanks guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.